as a dating commentator, you often hear that married men tend to live longer than single men. And, people have said that, typically married men have partners that may know their health better than they do, or they know how to ask the right questions, or, what's your thoughts on that? Why do you think, if someone is married, they tend to live longer?
Well, first of all, women start out having a conversation with their healthcare professionals at an early age because of their cycle. When women start their cycle, whether it's 12 or 13, whatever their age is, that's their introduction to health professionals. Us as guys, we don't have a cycle. So we don't have anything to make us have to go to the doctor or ask questions that's going on with your body, other than an erection or a wet dream or anything like that, and that's just pleasure. But so women are more open to have a conversation. I look at my sister and my mother, they talk all day, every day. And they talk about everything. Women, this is what women do. They converse with their girlfriends, their friends, and they know what's going on with each other's body. But guys, we don't have that connection. So women and husband and wives, when they go to the doctor, and the wife or the significant others in the room with the medical professionals, that spouse know more about their health than they do. So you would ask and go back and look at some of the footage that we've done with Shop Talk, and we've answered these questions about, okay, so they would say, okay, when you go, how many times do you go to the bathroom at night? And the guy would say, 2 or 3 times. And his wife would say, or significant other, say, no, you go 7 or 8 times. So they are aware of what's going on. Okay, what color is your urine? He said it's kind of yellow. No, it's dark brown. Which means there's something else going in it. So it's a significant difference from what he see or what he thinks or the significant other see. So yes, it is fact. And again, guys that live singly in a household, we just go through things on our own, and I'm guilty of that. I'll wait until it's just at the last end before I would go to the doctor, because mentally, we just think it's going to get better. And it can get better. We can tough to it. And that was a situation with another friend of mine that was going through surgery. And I knew something was going on, but I didn't know what was going on. He was suppressing the pain, and his blood pressure was out the door, about to have a stroke, because he was trying to suppress the pain versus pushing the button for pain relief. That's just our mentality. It's the way we are built. And slavery did a hell of a thing on our community. And our women, black women, are some of the strongest women in the world. And it's generational. It was brought down. You can't imagine being in a field or plantation, delivering a baby and having to go back and pick cotton. That's a lot. Whereas the same situation with healthcare, and it has to start at the top, because what works for white women and Susan B. Komen is totally different from what works for a black woman. The law says that you have to go back to work, I think, in 6 or 8 weeks after surgery. Whereas a black woman's body is not designed to go back to work that quick. A white woman can, because her body and healing process is different, but the codes and the regulation, the government insurance regulation, is based on them. And we are not a part of the database of doing trials situations. Now they want to include us into trial surveys and medications, but that's, this is 2024. We should have been involved in trial medicines way before now. So we're making progress, but we're not making progress. Why are we even having a conversation about abortion? How is it that a government can pay for, if you are at the Capitol, a congressman or a senator, they pay for Viagra for a guy for free Viagra, but they don't want to pay for women's abortion. Help me to understand that. So the playing field is still not level. That's why it's so important for us to get out and vote. this year, this term is like our life depends on it, because otherwise we're going to go back 50 years and what that looks like. You know, when they start taking away one right, what's next? You know, so we have to stop this at the top, and voting just not at the national level, but the local levels. What goes on in your community where you live affects you and your community and your household. So, you know, this is all what I've been doing all my life. We've filmed a lot of this, but didn't make good TV. You know, we've talked about this. You know, we've talked about it with Nene and other people about health issues, whether it's domestic abuse. You know, that's another organization which I started with the late Mrs. Lowry, Evelyn Lowry. This was an organization that was created from Katrina. And we had so many people that was misplaced and domestic abuse. And we started this organization called Pampering 4, the number 4, peace. And so it's always been a passion for me. And again, I guess it comes from my spiritual background. Mm-hmm. My grandfather being a minister, my father being a minister, Pentecostal minister, and of course, the idea for me was to be a minister. So I guess I am ministering in a different kind of way, not necessarily in the pulpit, but to reach out and have a conversation with people about what's going on in their life.
No, you're definitely ministering right now in your own way, you put your own seasoning on it, and it's resonating with people. But before we get out of here, what's next? Do you have any other events coming up for the Purple Door Salon or anything else regarding next year's prostate cancer awareness? What's next for Dwight Eubanks?
Well, you know, next week, the 29th of September, is FACE, Fulton Fashion, Art, Culture, and Education, Fulton County. It's going to be at the Fulton County Atrium, a fashion show featuring 7 amazing designers. That's coming up. And then, of course, we have our Christmas tour drive, which will be the second Sunday in December. We have 3 dance floors. Part of it will be here at the Purple Door Salon. And we've been doing this for 37 years. And we collect amazing tours to support the Boys and Girls Club, the Woodford Foundation, Sister Love, and we had so many tours last year. We gave some to Fulton County and the city of Atlanta because they had a shortage. So this has been going on this is our 37-year anniversary of tours of the Art of Giving. And of course, we would start back in January with Shop Talk, dealing with the health initiatives in our community. And of course, a whole lot in between there. And of course, we would come back September 14, 2025 for the health fair and the prostate fashion show, which will be at Centennial Yard, September 14, 2025. This is a 5-year projection. So this year was the inauguration of Shop Talk and the Blue Tie event. So doing what I do all over the world.
Indeed. Thank you so much. Your work speaks for itself, and I think that's an understatement. And again, no one, but me. I appreciate what you've been doing. Again, the event at Woodruff Park was amazing. Reached a lot of people, and I know for a fact that event saved lives. It affected people's, health, and it saved lives along the way. This has been Corner Confessions. Dwight Eubanks, you have been awesome as usual, as I knew you would be. Thank you again. This is your first appearance on Ringside's Corner Confessions. I hope it's not your last. Hope to work with you in the future. Everybody make sure you subscribe, drop some comments, some likes, make sure you share. Everybody, thank you again, and we are out.